Hey everyone, it's John Taylor. I'm on my news desk and prop trading desk here. Man, incredible news. Silver bullion, boom, pump up the jam. Let me tell you. And then gold bullion is at a new all-time high, up 2%. A lot of news on geopolitics, Iran, Russia. S&P's pumping this morning. A lot of news. Do me a favor, give my video a like and a share, and please subscribe to my channel. So today is Monday, January 26th, 2026. A lot of exciting news on the geopolitical front. Let's look at this real quick on bar chart. Stay with me to the end. I give you free alpha at the end of my channel view here. And I'll be posting videos too also on X, on Twitter. So I want to welcome all my Twitter viewers and YouTube viewers. Stocks see support ahead of heavy earnings week and FOMC meeting. Is the Federal Reserve going to save the day? U.S. stocks rise as gold hits another record and dollar value falls. The petrodollar, Trump administration invests in another rare earth miner, loosening up China's grip on supply. And the EU opens investigation into Musk's AI chatbot, over deepfakes. So Tesla's not doing so well, but we'll see. A storm is brewing, how to weather financial turbulence, and Lemonade will ensure Tesla's self-driving cars. Amazing. Pharmaceutical giant, tariff-proof stock. I just go over the geopolitical news and socioeconomic news. The White House is now a hedge fund. 5 government-backed stocks. Wall Street is watching. Nvidia, news on Nvidia, got the green light and it's ready to roar. So we'll see. Should you buy BTGO stock after the BitGo IPO? We shall see. My goodness. Comms are up big today. Communications, utilities, and materials. So let's look at the S&P 500 major market index. Again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Read the risk disclosure. S&P 500 E-mini up 37. Same thing for the NASDAQ E-mini up 124. Dow futures up 210 points. The VIX is at 18.13. The Dixie off at 96.780. Thing that we really have to watch now, the real narrative is government bonds. So the 10-year is at 111-285. Crude oil, $60.58. Nat gas is pumping at 3.72. Gold, new all-time high, up like 100 points. Silver bullion up $100 to $111, up about $10. Big breakout there. So, man, I own the mother load of silver bullion, and I've been squeaking out some on e-commerce, and my products are trading at a huge premium over my cost basis. So I'll let you see these products. I own thousands of these. These are half-gram products that I have. I've minted these, for the last 5 years, and now I'm selling them on e-commerce. And then I'm looking at accumulating those assets that are at the bottom of the list on its weighted alpha. So I'm looking at accumulating additional Bitcoin with my hyperinflated pump on the precious metals, but more on that later when I go over my trading plan. Nvidia, Tesla, Micron Technologies, Apple Computer, SanDisk is pumping, Microsoft, Meta, CoreWeave, Intel is off again. I sold some puts on Intel and Broadcom. I sold some puts on Intel, and then I also bought some puts underneath it at the $40 strike, as a nice hedge. So I might be assigned some Intel stock, but at the same time, I have the puts that are kicking in too, up nicely today. Novartis is the chart of the day. Novartis is trading at a new all-time high on Monday. What's up with Novartis? Hey, leave comments below. Tell me what you think. So this is what's being reported on bar chart. So a lot of geopolitical news running about 5 minutes. Let's look at Yahoo Finance. Yahoo Finance. I remember when Yahoo went public back in about 1996, 97. My goodness. The Fed is set to hold rates, but that's not the whole story. How long will the Fed hold off cutting again amid divisions among policymakers? U.S. stocks rise as gold rallies to kick off big week. Gold tops $5,000 for the first time in breathtaking, scary rally. It's something else. Silver bullion is pumping. CoreWeave surges on Nvidia's fresh investment, $2 billion investment. U.S. Treasury cancels all Booz Allen Hamilton contracts, or news there. Google settles Google Assistant privacy lawsuit. Shutdown risks, and another government shutdown. Rare earth stock, USAR. Rare earth soars, US going to take a 10% position. Tech stocks face angst. Grow investors are getting defensive. Bitcoin starts week at shaky ground. I'm buying the dip on Bitcoin. Looking at a current housing market and EU and WhatsApp, how to invest in gold in 4 steps. My goodness. Banks poised for bumper bonuses this spring. IonQ to buy Skywater for, my goodness, the stocks are heating up, but, the real story again is also, warships, Armada has moved into the Persian Gulf. So got to pray for the people of Iran. And then another government shutdown rise as lawmakers review DHS and ICE funding. So we got possible civil war here in the U.S. Social unrest. So I've got to keep it PC. So a lot of this news I can't even report on it. So let's see on CNN real quick what's being reported. CNN is talking. Let's see the news stories here. On the left, Trump is sending border czar to Minnesota tonight. Tom Homan will be managing ICE operations. Minnesota and social unrest there with U.S. citizens in Minneapolis. My goodness. So, and then Alex Preddy, Killing, awful. Devastating damage in Mississippi. So are you being affected by the power outages and the storms and everything? My goodness. So this is what's being reported on the left. Venezuela president can't stand U.S. orders. Gold surges again to 5,000. Man, a ferry sinks in southern Philippines. So incredible news here. Geopolitics. Now stay with me to the end. I'm going to run a shorter video today. I'll give you my free alpha and my trading plan. So let's look on Fox. We'll look on the right. What's Fox News reporting? Trump deploys border enforcer to Minnesota after agitators, allegedly, federal agents and everything. Boy, the news is heating up. The Far Left Network, that Alex Preddy News, and my goodness, people, be careful with all this extreme weather. My goodness, time to prep, was a year ago. Minnesota National Guard hands out coffee and donuts. So that's all right. Royalty grounded. So Republicans unveil push. Dems, people eating mushrooms that are not supposed to be doing so. Costco perks can pay for your membership and then some. I shop at Costco. So that's what we have on that side of the news. Now, let's see here also too. Memberships at Costco. Man, Costco's amazing. I get all my food for free at Costco. I use a hack. Now, I don't run commercials on my channel here for X or on YouTube and all that. So, but you can check out the links below. I recently penned an ebook, AI event planning, artificial intelligence and event planning. Use AI for event planning. So you can check out the links below, and you can read it for free on Amazon Kindle. It's artificial intelligence use and how to plan events. So I have that book. And so really that's what I have. Now let's kind of look at my trading plan for today. Let's look at this. S&P 500's pumping. Coinbase is pumping. Gemini stock is pumping. Iron Limited. All these stocks in the crypto space are pumping. My goodness. Everything's good. Let's see what here. S&P 500 is at a new all-time high. Saw dollar cost average Bitcoin today. Bought the dippy dip and such. So, nice pump in Bitcoin this morning, about 2,000 points. Now it's sold off. SPY saw dollar cost average the S&P 500 today. That's nice, up about 0.5%. Zero spot 58%. So Bitcoin, and S&P 500 are doing good. So I don't try to predict the market, but that S&P 500, it owns Newmont Mining, the gold stock in there. So that way, I get some of the gold stock action in there. BKCH, I'm at a dollar cost average Bitcoin. SPY ETF. BKCH is off about 2.5%. I'll DCA it at. That's a blockchain ETF. Block, BLOK. And then ETHE, I'll DCA it. So that's my trading plan for today. But again, the news story is Iran, and then looking at government bonds, and then the de-dollarization event, and then selling my precious metals complex. It's a big breakout, 10%, so it might be exhausting a little bit there. So I'll sell precious metals that I have in an effort to calm the market to provide liquidity. So let's look at futures real quick. I'm not a commodity trading advisor, but I look at performance leaders. So let's see. And I'm also in the process of penning a new ebook on weighted alpha and how I use such to accumulate commodities for myself. Silver, plus 240% on weighted alpha. So I'm a seller of silver now. So indirectly, I've cornered the silver market. I'm not as big as the Hunt brothers, but I've cornered silver, platinum, palladium, lithium, gold, and copper. Now, copper metal is being described as a new gold, so I got lots of copper too. Feeder cattle are up, and then the peso. Now, on the bottom of the list, on the greatest negative weighted alpha is cocoa, negative 51%, orange juice, butter, cash settled, and then Bitcoin micro. So of those commodities that have the greatest negative weighted alpha is Bitcoin that I want to accumulate. So I'm selling the pump in silver, monetizing those hyperinflated dollars, and then looking at the bottom of the list that I want to own on the negative weighted alpha. So that's a negative 26 spot, about negative 27% on weighted alpha for Bitcoin. So that's my trading plan. Sell the pump into silver bullion. I won't sell my entire position, but it's nice to monetize that. And then purchasing Bitcoin micro. So that's what we have. Exciting news. Iran, Russia, North Korea. My goodness. The Ukraine, what's going on there with the war and World War III. Venezuela being commandeered. A lot of news. How do we position ourselves in this to survive and do awesome during these trying times? So that's my plan for today, everyone. Again, I say this every day. I give thanks for my abundant supply now manifested. I have it now. It's John Taylor. Look, got my Bentley hat. Check that out. Got a new Bentley hat. And then I have it now. So have an awesome, wonderful day. Let's see if we can get a nice pivot in Bitcoin being oversold. Thanks, everyone. John Taylor on his news desk and prop trading desk. Have a great day.